Well, they did it, America. The Supreme Court just ruled in favor of the TikTok ban, and they ruled against freedom of speech. Between our Senate, our president, and the Supreme Court, it should be completely clear to you now that they don't give a shit about our free speech. They don't give a shit about the laws that govern this country. And what Americans want is irrelevant. They are more focused on being beholden to their corporate shareholders and to the corporate leaders that actually are running this country. They all own stocks in Meta. They all own stocks in X. They own stock in Amazon. And by eliminating their competition, they're hoping that they will drive all the traffic back to these platforms so that they can increase their own profits as being shareholders. And in a way, it kind of backfired on them because so many people now signed up for the Redbook app, an actual Chinese app. They freely went over there, and so now they are proposing to ban the Redbook app. This whole show that they present to us 365 days a year, that all the Republicans are against the Democrats and the Democrats are going after the Republicans. It's all bullshit. It is just a facade. It's just a reality TV show. It's WWE wrestling for politicians. Because what it really boils down to is that they are all on the side of the corporations. They are all on the side of maximizing their own profits and how much money they can stuff into their bank account. That always wins. Make no mistake about it. They're on the same goddamn team because the team is money, and that's what they're playing for. They can't come to an agreement about wages for the American worker. They can't come to an agreement on health care for the American citizen. They can't come to an agreement on benefits for veterans. They can't come to an agreement on how much FEMA money should be able to go to which states during national crisis. They can't come to an agreement on immigration. They can't come to an agreement on fucking anything. But boy, they sure came to a fucking agreement when it came to getting rid of their competition and getting rid of an app that allows for free speech and the free flow of information. They sure came together pretty goddamn quick on that one, didn't they? And then the Supreme Court, what the hell is that? They're siding with eliminating free speech? You have to think about something here, that over half of the United States of America, over 170 million Americans, and they just gave you the biggest fucking middle finger they could possibly give you. There are so many U.S. creators who make their living from TikTok gone. Essentially, Republicans and Democrats basically just gave everybody their layoff notice. Gone. And even if Donald Trump happens to come to the rescue of TikTok and saves it, I do not want you to forget that the Republicans and the Democrats unanimously voted to ban this app, to ban free speech. And then the Supreme Court unanimously decided to ban free speech. And the only reason that Trump will save this app is if there's something in it for him. If somehow his corporate buddies get to make money off of this deal. You have to remember, when Trump was in the White House, he advocated for banning the TikTok app because he was pissed off with China. So to think that he's going to save it, I'm a little skeptical on that point. And now they're talking about banning that Redbook app as well. They're talking about banning anything that allows the free flow of information to U.S. citizens to one another, because we can report the shit that they are up to in real time, and they don't like that. God forbid we have a voting base that is informed and a voting base that is staying up to date on the issues, whether it's their local issues, their state issues, or federal issues. There's people on that app that report on their city and state news constantly, reporting on what their representatives are doing, what their senators are doing, and it's in real time. And so people are able to catch up on all of the details. And they don't want that. They like to do everything behind this big fucking curtain of mystery. And let's not forget, that the vote and the law that bans the TikTok app was smashed into a huge funding bill for Israel and for Ukraine. Wasn't a standalone bill. And now you have all of these bullshit Democrats coming out and saying, whoa, we didn't really think that they were going to ban it. Well, you passed the goddamn law. What do you mean? Such bullshit. What a cop-out. We didn't think they were going to really ban it. Then why would you put it in a law? Why would you vote for it? Is this shit just a joke to them? It must be. Because they pass legislation, they push it through, they vote on it and say, well, we didn't think it was really going to happen. Bullshit. They think we're that goddamn stupid. We know that's how it works. You write the bill, you get the votes, you pass the bill, it becomes law. Went right to Biden, he signed it, boom, there's the law. That's how the government works. They know that, but now they're trying to act like they're fucking surprised. We didn't think it was really going to pass. And they tied it to funding for Israel and Ukraine. How far removed can these two things be, but yet they're in the same fucking bill? The same bill. One has nothing to do with the other. They're not even closely related. They're taking everything away, and the only thing that we are going to be left with is anger. What are you going to do, Senator? What are you going to do, Mr. Representative, when all Americans have left is fucking anger? Because in America, it seems like anger is all that is left. There's a class war going on. The average American can't even make ends meet. We don't get any help there. We can't afford health care. It's bankrupting everybody. We can't get any help there. The housing cost is through the fucking roof, and we can't get any help there. We have all of these issues going on. They want to defund education. They want to tie FEMA aid to fucking conditions. Give me a break. We can't get any fucking relief anywhere, but yet the gap between the rich and poor, that keeps fucking growing. They can't tackle that issue. Americans are overworked, under fucking paid. Can't get any help with that issue, but let's ban a fucking free speech platform. They can really get together and do something about that in a fucking hurry because they have special interests in those. Zuckerberg spent millions and millions of dollars lobbying Congress for this bullshit. Go look at their trades. Go see how many senators are invested in apps like Meta, are invested in companies like Amazon. They have a vested interest in getting rid of TikTok. They have a vested interest into driving all that traffic back to the platforms that they are invested in. That's all this is about. And they didn't give a shit about your free speech. They don't give a shit about the Constitution. It's a fucking joke to them. They like to sell the idea of freedom. It looks great in sound bites on TV and shit. But when it actually comes to doing the business of protecting freedoms for the American citizens, it's gone. Behind closed doors, they don't give a fuck. It's a big game. The Democrats and the Republicans both work on the same team. Money. That is it. That's the bottom line. That's all they care about. They don't give two shits about their so-called constituents. We aren't constituents. We are nothing to them. They make that apparent every day because 365 days a year, they don't get shit done that benefits Americans. Nothing real, nothing tangible, but boy, when it comes to their fucking pocketbooks, look how fast they got together to ban their competition. And now they're talking about banning the next wave of competition. You can't make this up. This entire two-party system is a friggin' joke. It always has been a joke, but now it's a joke on steroids. It's no longer funny. The average American is suffering immensely, and the Democrats have no place to talk about the Republicans coming after all the freedom. They did this in a bipartisan fashion. They worked together with the Republicans. They voted for their own fucking wallet, for their own bank accounts. This is why we need reform at the highest levels. These assholes should not be allowed to be investing in stocks when they are writing the fucking rules. They are picking the winners and the losers. They write the laws, and then they get to invest in the ones that they know are going to succeed. You tell me that that's not corrupt. It's even worse now. We have all of this money involved in the incoming administration and Donald Trump's administration. It's a complete farce. They're going to strip more and more of our rights away. And as far as I'm concerned, with this whole ban of free speech, there's really nothing left. There's really nothing left for them to strip away, because they've done what every communist country has ever done. They have banned free speech. They have banned our ability to have a free flow of information. They've banned it completely. They don't want us talking with each other and sharing with each other. They want to be able to control that fucking narrative so that it brings everybody into line. To hell with this two-party system that we have. The two-party system needs its back broken. So what's the solution? Well, they have the money, so they can run all the ads that they want every 2 years when it's election time. And they can flood the goddamn TV sets and the airwaves with all of their ads. But the American people need to come together and to say, the hell with this two-party system, and vote overwhelmingly for your third-party candidates. And if there's not a viable third-party candidate, then somehow you need to be able to write in one name in mass numbers so that they win the election. The only way that change is going to happen, we stop voting for these people who don't give two shits about you. They may have the money and they may have the propaganda machine that can pump you out all the ads, but it doesn't mean that just because you saw an ad on TV that you have to vote for these morons. You don't. There are other alternatives. We need a third independent party, a viable one that actually cares about the American people, that's actually talking about the topics that we care about, and they need to be voted in en masse. Elon Musk is running around threatening all these politicians that if they don't do what he wants them to do, that he's going to primary each and every one of them, which in his mind is, I'm just going to flood your competitors with as much money as I can so that they could beat you. Well, we need to take that same damn approach, and to hell with these Republicans, to hell with these Democrats, and we need to primary all of these candidates, especially those ones that voted in favor of banning free speech in America. We need to primary the hell out of them. Pay no attention to the goddamn ads that you see on TV or the ads that you're going to see on all of the social media websites. Vote for an independent candidate who's not beholden to either one of these two stupid parties. It's just a two-headed monster that's eating itself. And it's time we get out of this stupid rigged game and this stupid system that we have set up. This country, our representatives, our senators, Republican and Democrat, have proved with the passing of the TikTok ban that they don't care about free speech. The Constitution doesn't mean a damn thing. Because I want to remind you that TikTok was never found guilty of anything. These are all allegations. But what they did was they used allegations that they made up, backed by their corporate sponsors, Mark Zuckerberg and Bezos, and they railroaded free speech. No trial, no evidence, just allegations that they themselves made up so that they could stuff their own pockets, get their bank account fatter, and then the Supreme Court backed them by banning free speech. This is all the evidence we need that our representatives, our elected officials, don't give a shit about this country, don't give a shit about the Constitution. I never want to hear the Constitution and freedom and liberty come out of their goddamn mouths again. It's a lie, it's a farce. They are just saying what you want it to hear. They are just telling you the things that they think will get you to vote for them. Because on the other side, when they walk into those offices in DC and the doors are closed, they are voting and writing bills against your best interests, and they are screwing you at every turn. What are you going to do, Senator? What are you going to do, Representative, when you've left nothing for the American people but anger? Because that's all we have left. Anger. We're sick of the lies. We're sick of you guys getting on TV and patronizing us with all of your freedom and all of your liberty talk that you don't really care about. You prove it with the laws that you write and the votes that you take. You have voted against the Constitution of the United States of America. And now it's time that we primary all of your asses and vote third party and create a new third party that can rival the Republicans and the Democrats, because they are the enemies within.